Alright. What's up, everybody? Oh, I could breathe again, you guys. Feels so good. Feels so good to breathe. My goodness. Anyway, I was kind of under the weather for, I don't know, just like weather change, and then I'm like getting some allergies. But anyway, it's been I don't know if I'm sick or anything. I don't feel sick. It's just coughing and then my nasal. So could have been just flu, you know. But yes, like sometimes you just have to decompress and your body kind of needs to purged, I guess. I don't get sick often, but man, a couple of days. It's been like 5 days since I've been kind of congested nasally. But yeah, no harm, no foul. I'm still alive. That's good. But anyway, as for GME though, oh hi everybody. All right. Hey Sus, Matt, stay happy 888. All right, never seen you here. Third in reporting. Thank you, Michael. Happy Wednesday. Yes. I did. I was just explaining to people here. Sound better. I feel a lot easier to talk. No more nasal. I was about to come on yesterday too, but I was just like, too much sniffling still. So, but today, a lot better. All right. So, Hada, what's up? All right. Speaking. Oh, wow. There's so many people around. Thank you so much for joining. I love that you guys come here and thinking that you're going to learn something new. Come on. You know this. Nothing new here, okay? Just price action. It seems like everything, it's just so calm and, calm before the storm type thing. That's why I have the title there. But, we feel like something is brewing. A lot of stuff going on behind closed door. I feel like Bitcoin is coming up like crazy at the moment. So there might be something, brewing here. But for some reason, the share price of GME is still suppressed. Have you ever wondered why? It's like, hey, Bitcoin's going higher. Typically, your MicroStrategy, kind of like trading the same way. Hold on, let me see if I could find MSTR here real quick. I did not track MSTR today, but I'm thinking because Bitcoin goes up, I'm sure MSTR went up today too. Okay, not by much. But hold on, let me see. Day, okay. So it did trade up today. This is MSTR. And as you could see, again, it kind of follow what Bitcoin does, right? So let's put there here. There you go. Whatever Bitcoin does, which makes sense because they do have Bitcoin on their balance sheets and all that stuff. But again, by speculation, there's no filing quite yet. But we are adding Bitcoin to our balance sheet. So it's curious to me that why are we still not, going up? I mean, yes, we went up, but not by much. It seems as though it's still kind of suppressed a little bit. But again, I mean, you could see there's some trace of MSTR there too. But Bitcoin down here, which is down here, yes, it went up to like, I think the highest was 94,000 or something like that. So pretty good. Pretty good. All right, Anthony, what's up, everybody? Because I can. Thank you. Jimmy was close to a run today, but they stopped it. Okay. Who's they? Let me see. I just feel like sometimes we have to be specific, you know? Who are we talking about here? Stopping Jimmy from running, huh? Yeah, so I feel, look at this, right? So the move is pretty predictable, in my opinion. Every single time, every single morning, they drop it down immediately and then try to, gain a bear trap, a bull trap, whatever they need to do, right? um, but it's encouraging because it's still trading kind of in that range. I feel like this gap has been kind of filled already. So they're going to try to fill that gap and then try to bring us down again a little bit here or even down here. But the next level I'm looking is 25 right there, or 24. Why 24? Well, it's the next, kind of high over here. And also a retracement, maybe. I don't know. Could be. Some sort of Fibonacci retracement. There you go. Which is the right around there. So it makes sense, historical price, simple support and resistance type thing. So if you could flip this here into a support again, you will be more likely to kind of come back down, right? I mean, sorry, as a launch pad right here, and then continue to the next level up here, which is 32. Again, just a short term here. And depends on how many people, right, more enthusiastic about it, and how many people are gonna convert their shares into, convert their bond into shares. But I was looking at and moderator. Okay, who's they? Yes, good question. You mean good question? Yes, I'm feeling better, thank you. Maybe Bitcoin is bought by, but not reported. Yeah, I feel we are. We already added to our balance sheets. Like, it's crazy not to, right? With the verbiage in the convertible notes, obviously, it'd be crazy not to add Bitcoin right now, especially at this time when I'm not sure if he followed the global money supply, but it seems like Michael Saylor does kind of is aware of the global money supply, how it's kind of matching up to the the retracement of the Bitcoin here. I think I recently watched some gentleman who does this chart pretty well. Hold on, let's see if I could find it. I truly feel that we are up
in Bitcoin right here is
okay. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Okay, I think this gentleman here does a video on how it kind of match up with
they could do it.
The global money supply. And what he does is just to kind of predict the next move for Bitcoin. And of course, global money supply is kind of like a chart that it kind of matches. It's almost uncanny to see how perfectly matched it is, right? Not perfect, but close to like 80% match. So the global money supply is like the light yellow, and then Bitcoin is there. But this one over here is doing an overlay of the some of the offset day. Okay, it's kind of push a little bit slower. Okay, And if he does that, it matches perfectly there. So we're due for a next run. This is like the up only type of phase for Bitcoin. That's why they say like a super cycle for Bitcoin. Of course, 3 months ago, I wish I had this knowledge. I would not have bought, XRP or whatever around here. But hey, you live and you learn. Not to say that it's going to follow this completely and exactly, but it's seemingly, the chart is uncanny. And global money supply is just the liquidity slushing around on the world because central banks, they're inflating the currency. So that's the only trick that they have. So there you go. Take it as you wish, but I feel like we are up only stage here. So with this, we could predict that by end of May we could see all-time high again for Bitcoin, right around there, end of May, which is around here, and then running into June and July. So. Not to say that it's just going to follow like this. I mean, it could just be like that and go back up there. But the general trend is that it's going to go higher. And on top of that, the demand of every single banks out there, they're getting more and more into Bitcoin. Charles Schwab's gonna do a some crypto trading desks within 12 months. So a lot of announcement on that for sure. So everybody is scrambling to offer crypto to people because now, of course, with the new SEC chairman, pro crypto, and pro retail, I hope, right? Who knows if he's gonna see the book and then gonna get scared, like, oh, we're not gonna fix anything. It's gonna break everything, right? So that could also happen, to just leave that thoughts in there. I know, he talked about like naked shorting, that it shouldn't be allowed, that it should be punished if, they want to short their stock and not having to borrow it and all that stuff. So it's systematic for sure. But again, they could also, think of a different way to short the stock as they wish, right? They could buy puts and, whatever, married put, married call, whatever, just to make the stock appear like they're, more weighted and all that stuff. So they could do a lot with the option chain to try to suppress the price of the stock at that price or at that point in time. And so again, long-term investor usually will win out in the end for sure, because then you don't care about the time frame in which they're gonna buy your stock back or anything like that. If a lot of people are shorting this thing, right, it's dynamic. It's never going to stop changing. Okay, so at some point in time, you might just have more shorts than it usually does, and then they could buy it back at any time. It doesn't have to be a certain date. Oh, it has to be this date, No. And again, that's why the hype update on even April 20th hype update, it didn't happen either. Now, my perspective on, Roaring Kitty or whatever, there's a thumping situation here again that we could see today. Yesterday it wasn't there. Perhaps again, if this is even him, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I feel like if it is him, he's probably just watching to see, hey, I'm waiting. If you make that analogy of that thumping situation in that dune, when he tried to wait for the worm to come up to the surface and jump on it. So perhaps that's what he's waiting for. The last tweet that he tweeted out was the dog, right? Waiting on the, perhaps that's the signal, is that he's still waiting. So the thumping is, just to try to call for the worms, if you want to make that analogy. So the worm is the swaps, perhaps, and he's still waiting, right? So that's why you see that dumping. Now, I'm sure the minute he sees it, he's gonna post a YOLO update, and of course he's gonna, take a position in it before that happens. So, but who knows? I mean, I don't know if this is manipulative or anything, but I don't think that is the case. I don't know. Like, my opinion is that, he's trying to at least let retail knows what's going on. Because, again, if the swap does exist, no matter what, they're going to have to buy the stock back, right? At any point. Because they have to deliver whatever. And plus, they don't want to get stuck either, you guys, okay? Risk and all that stuff is going to blow them up. Or, ruin their reputation. But some problem, it's just too big for them to even expose that, because it could be systematic to the point where, everything just collapse on itself. With the bond markets and all that stuff, and the turmoil that is happening, too many chaos, and with the competition of Bitcoin as well as a, kind of safe haven type of competition from the treasury bond. There's a signaling of a global liquidity like no other, where they're going to have to print more. Even Scott Besson, right, talks about buying their own bond back. So what does that mean? It means that when you buy people's bond back, you are giving them cash. Okay. So in essence, you give them cash. And who buys those bonds? Typically, they're like, hedge funds, or, people who have a lot of money. And when they do get the money back, where do you think they're going to put it? Right? And typically, they would buy something of value. Okay? Whatever they think of value is. That's why you see the, let me see. Gold went higher. So flight to safety. And so it went up to, this is the future. Never mind. I think close to 4,000, right? Something crazy. An ounce of gold. Oh, wow. Okay, so 3,000, close to 3,500 there. And it's still kind of trying to creep back up again. Now, typically when gold rally, Bitcoin tend to follow, the next wave here. And so while gold is kind of consolidating around this, and people did a analysis on that too, where they see that quite often, where anytime they see gold rally, right, Bitcoin tend to follow with that afterwards. If you could see it. Oh, man. Here we go. Rally, and then it follows. Too high. But just believe me for now, okay? Just trust me, okay? But yeah. With this though, I feel like there's a lot of liquidity still slushing around. So risk asset is going to blow up along with GME as well, unless they are waiting on cashing out on Bitcoin first before they kind of cover on Gamestop. Now, the other thesis as well, where I heard some gentlemen talk about how the convertible bond was a kind of an out for the shorts. People who are shorting, whether it is the bankers or somebody else who was shorting the stock, they're less likely to be antsy, in their position. So that means they don't have to worry about covering, okay, because of the convertible notes. So I think this is the gentleman here. He's talking about that.
Anybody who follows me knows I don't cover these or follow them. And it came to me as we were looking at UBS, which is what I'm really interested in, which is the global financial plumbing. That's what I talk about a lot, and geopolitics and how it all intersects. And then we make our investment decisions. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I've said so many times, I feel that I'm just here to assist people in making the best decision for themselves. I run narratives. If you're new to this site, I would ask you to go look at my videos that I will repost on how I think about narratives and information. Okay? Now, let's talk about this. Now, these meme stocks, they go back. I looked at them when they first got the short and all this other stuff. Let's throw all that out. Cerebus, what they call it, Robinhood, naked shorting, synthetic shorts, all that stuff. Just throw it out. Just don't even pay attention. The question is where are we today? Okay? You got two sides of this trade. It's actually pretty simple. The first side is you got these firms that are short. Okay? That's it. Then, and all they want to do is cover. And anybody who thinks that these major international banks, with some of the smartest people in the world, have been slowly but surely chiseling down over the years their cost of acquisition, I think you're kidding yourself. But that's your choice. But look at it. The real question, the only question, after I did a video on this 2.5 years ago, is what is the CEO of GME going to do? Because he has a bargaining chip, and that these guys are short, right? But you look at his situation. He's in a company in a declining business. Same with AMC. This is why these stocks were picked. And for the people who follow me, think of the basis trade, how everyone does the basis trade. Well, guess what? Everyone kind of was shorting these stocks, figuring they were just going to go bankrupt. Now, a lot of the shorting was done through derivatives, which made synthetic shorting and all this other stuff. Again, throw that out. Doesn't matter. All I'm saying is they were short. That's all that counts. So they want to cover, and the CEO wants to transfer wealth to the company, not to the stock. Doesn't do them any good. I understand. You own the stock. That's what you're interested in. Totally understand it. But the CEO, he's not thinking like you do, whether you like it or not. He's not. There were comments saying that he was bribed and bought out and everything. No, he wasn't. Because think of what he has to do. He's trying to take this bargaining chip and turn it into cash for his company, not for the stock price. All right? So he sits there and he says, I have a declining business model. And look at the size of this issue. If they just buy the bonds, which they did, okay, the converts, he got 1.3 billion. If they exercise, he gets another 200 million, 1.5 billion, 1.48 to be exact, okay? But this is a zero coupon PIK, payment in kind, all right? So you can think about it this way. If he goes 2 years without anybody exercising, he gets another 200 million, 1.7 billion, all right? So, and then you look at it from the bank side, they may need those extra shares to cover some short. And by the way, this bond is out there. So any bank that bought these bonds right now, right, they're not short anymore, whether you like it or not, on their books. The way we do risk, the way we do margin, the way we do everything, they're not short. It is what it is, okay? So, again, how does the guy, so let's go through a scenario, a narrative, all right? So your narrative is, I'm going to put out $1.3 billion worth of stock. You have a stock offering. You announce it. They use TD securities. You know, raising $1.3 billion in TD security, that would be a challenge, all right? But if they did announce that we're going to raise $1.3 billion, okay, how many shares is that? What would happen to the stock when that announcement came out? It would come down, okay? Now, when he gets the money, what's he going to do with it? You going to invest it into Gamestop stores? I don't think so, all right? So he has to have a business model, and he needs time to start the business model up, because once he brings in the money and lessens the shorts, now people are going to look at it as a real company, and he's going to have to perform, right? Or the stock price will go down. So he's kind of caught. You can't stay as a meme stock for the next 50 years. And by the way, the stock's down 14% this year, but look at the markets. If the market really got hit, then it's possible that he could lose his bargaining chip. So they might have been, negotiating for months. And when the market starts getting hit, hey, this is my time, okay? Plus, think about what he does. Is when you do a convertible bond, it's converted at a higher rate, right? And this one, 29.85, all right? So he's looking for the conversion because he gets paid that money. Now, when he gets the money, he's in a convertible, but no one's converted yet. And he even has stuff in there in 2 years. If it's over 38, then I can do it and all this other stuff. That's not happening, okay? It's not even going to get close to that. Not even close, all right? That is, there's a super protection. If, when he gets the money, he hits on the mother lode and the stock goes up and he'd be able to pull it back, okay? So that's not happening. So what could possibly happen here? If I was the CEO and I was going to take in 1.3, I would be betting on 1.5 plus 1.7. So I believe in the end, this company is going to get $1.7 billion, all right? But let's just take it straight. They can't even afford the interest payments for one payment. They can't, right? They have EBITDA of 22 million. They're actually losing money every quarter. So you have to have free cash flow to pay for these things. He doesn't have free cash flow. But
We don't have to pay. No, we don't have to pay. When convertible note, we don't have to pay. It's 0%. What is he talking about paying for this bond? I don't know. I feel like this guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what he's saying. Hold on. He said something about negative cash flow. I mean, sometimes we do have negative cash flow, but it's off and on. So let's look at it real quick. Is he talking about EBITDA here? But what's the cash flow? I should have this memorized, you guys. What the hell? What am I looking at? Wait. Yes, this is GameStop. I'm looking for negative cash flow. Oh, cash flow. There. Free cash flow. Positive. Yes, negative a couple of quarters up there. Okay, and then positive. So we do have positive cash flow for this trailing 12. Not quite sure what he's talking about there. Operational, well, we know that. Yes, there are some, something that we need to fix, but not by much, you guys. $17 million in the negative. That's nothing, you guys, for a company that is operating. Heck, they have freaking, look at this, much better interest on just the cash alone. So having cash around, it's really beneficial. At least it keeps the company afloat. Not only that, earning money as well. So, that cash pile is important. Not only to wait for the opportunity that might come along when the market crash, when people are scrambling like crazy, right? Not only that, you get to enjoy the interest payment coming because of that cash. And to the point where you don't even need the actual core business to generate any money, although we do have some generation of money. Yes, look, it's negative, but again, we're still fixing, the company bottom line. Okay, so rest assured, you're gonna be fine. Well, people is like, they're not making money. You have to be realistic here, you guys. Come on. You are living in an economy that does not, that people don't have any money to spend. Okay, extra money. Ask your friend, okay? Do they feel broker? than last year, or this year they have like so much money that they don't know what to do with. No, everybody is scrambling for cash here. So understand that that's the economy that we're dealt with. But even then, though, if you look at the quarter, okay, we're in the plus. Yes, trailing 12 sucks, but quarterly, we're good. Okay? So we know that they're going to continue to cut down stores still, which is needed. Yes, because the demand is not there quite yet to have all those stores to be open. And so without the stores from France and Canada, we're going to see, where we go from there. Perhaps that $17 million in trailing 12 loss is going to flip positive pretty soon. Okay, so cut them some slack, obviously, but if you don't, then don't buy it. I mean, pretty simple, I feel. No harm, no foul. Sit on the sideline and watch what's happened, what is going to happen. But as far as this fourth quarter, we did make some money here. We're not, some money. Can you imagine saying $76 million is some money? Of course. They do make a lot of money. And with that, positive earnings right there, profit margin, gross, look at the gross. Not as well as the other couple quarters ago. But still, nonetheless, we do come up ahead at the game. So as far as him saying that we're not making money, not profitable, and that we have to pay, I don't get that part.
If I was the CEO and I was going to take in 1.3, I would be betting on 1.5 plus 1.7. So I believe in the end, this company is going to get $1.7 billion. All right. But let's just take it straight. They can't even afford the interest payments for one payment. They can't. Right? They have EBITDA of 22 million. They're actually losing money every quarter. So you have to have free cash flow to pay for these things. He doesn't have free cash flow. But
okay. Just for those people who doesn't know, seemingly this guy doesn't know. The bond is 0 interest. We don't have to pay for that money. Okay? Yes.
He can pay it out of the bonds, but he don't want to do that. He's trying to get the money into the company. So now he gets the money into the company. And now he has to do a business. Now, he can't do GameStop stores. That's not going to happen. So I was thinking about what are the 2 things that I would do or think I could do to get away with that I could drive up the price. Me, I could either do AI or Bitcoin. He chose Bitcoin. I wouldn't have chosen AI because $1.5 billion is nothing in the AI world. So no one would believe him. On the Bitcoin, he could look at, what is it, SMCI, whatever it is, that other, that's a meme stock, whatever, right? So he cuts a deal. This was a negotiated deal. I hope you understand that, between the companies and the short people, right? And is there another deal coming along after this? I don't know. Will AMC do one? I have no idea. All I'm saying is, if you have this meme stock, your thought process is, how do I take a bargaining chip and turn it into cash for my company? That's all this is. I think, and I said this in the video, some smart banker is going to get a big bonus this year because I actually think they thought through this and it was, a fairly good solution. Are any solutions perfect? No. Are any investments perfect? No. There's nothing perfect in our world. So given what he had, given what they were doing, given what the shorts wanted, given what the market's doing, it seems to me they came to an agreement. What do you think? Like and follow?
Okay. No, I disagree. This is terrible. Why did I show this video? I have no idea, but forgive me for even showing that. It's nonsense over here. As far as like making deals with the shorts, I don't think so. Yes, can it help them just by issuing bonds to convert to shares? I don't think that will help them to keep the price down per se. Perhaps a temporary relief, but you're still not addressing the big, question here, or the big elephant in the room, where how many shares are being shorted? I mean, it's hard for me to believe that it's only, 8%, but even 8%, right, or 11% now, still high. And so, with the amount of convertible notes converting into shares, I don't think it's enough to cover that, right? And on top of that, too, how many swaps are there that is associated with this? Okay. But anyway, I just feel like it's a bit meh, a little bit undesirable to even watch this. The fact that he doesn't even know that the bond is like 0% and like, oh, you need money to pay for this. No, you don't need money. Crazy. It's 0 interest rate, you guys. So we got free money technically, for 5 years to do whatever we please. And of course, buying Bitcoin makes all the sense in the world because every 5 years, you're going to be wishing that you're buying Bitcoin, 4 years ago. You see what I mean? So it will go up in price, and how high, we don't know, right? Of course, all of us speculating. But even BlackRock CEO, talks about like 700,000 coin. I mean, $700,000 a coin for Bitcoin if everybody were to put 2% of their portfolio, from his firm or whatever, into Bitcoin. 2%, just 2%. So imagine if most people do even more, just again to expose the risk, whatever quote unquote risky asset on that. And so with that, in mind, it seems like it's early, right? For people to buy at this under $100,000 a coin is very, very early. So to me, that's pretty good. And on top of that, yes, we're gonna issue more bonds too. So and what people don't realize is that what if there's a new short position coming in on top of that? So yes, people gonna, positioning themselves short, thinking that this company cannot pay back the debt, right? Because of the misunderstanding or whatever, retail or whatever. So those type of market participants gonna come in to add, in my opinion, add the fuel to the fire already. That is, GME, like short position here. Okay. Again, I can't prove, the swaps and all that stuff, so I don't know. And even if it's already swapped up and kind of secured for how long, typically, swaps last like 2 or 3 years, right, before it kind of show up on the market. And so again, they could still kick the can down the road, sure, but how long can they do that? And then, how many people would, be, buying Gamestop, and then the companies keep growing, right, over time, all of that. I mean, again, they're going to continue to do what they need to do to grow, you guys. Just because they buy Bitcoin doesn't mean that that's it, they're not going to grow the business here. They're still growing the business, but just slowly, but surely, okay? PSA is a pretty good example for that they are planning to at least reimagine GameStop into, something that is, delighting customer for people, collectibles and all that stuff. So, PSA. And they just did this mystery box, which I feel it's going to bring more people, enticing more people to shop at the store here. And I think which one was the one? this gentleman's here.
Mike Hands here. We're about to do a live unboxing of, you guessed it, the Gamestop Power Packs. Got my homie here with me. We're going to go ahead and open them up and see what we got. So if you haven't, go ahead and go to your local GameStop. Grab you a Power Pack because you're guaranteed a PSA 8 Plus or above. So come check it out. You ready, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'll let you do the honors and yours first. All right. Also, when you're doing these, make sure to tag GameStop on your opening and let them know. What will you unbox?
This is pretty cool that, you know, it's like an added kind of publicity to unboxing and getting people excited about what they are, you know, getting in that mystery box. And Power Pack, there you go. Yeah, so again, product placement, right? They're pretty good at coming up with new ideas to try to get people to shop. And this is pretty cool. Like, and more of these type of brand recognitions, building, you know, reputation over time. These are what we need as a leadership. Now, you know, it may not hit right off the bat, you know, right off the bat, it's going to be, hundreds of trillions of dollars sales over here. But at least it's a concept, right? A concept that, okay, if it takes off, it's going to be something. You know, a few millions here and there a day will add up to $100 million a year, you know? And so if they could scale this and there's enough people who actually will buy those type of things, and through words of mouth, you know, people will be able to see. So he's unboxing here. And apparently you could get, you know, a good one. But apparently they got a 10 there. So I don't know how much it costs, but, you know, I mean, not cost, how much it's worth. I'm sure, you know, it could be worth a lot. But that super pack is pretty cool. I like that. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be the one who spend, because I don't know the first thing about collecting, you know, these type of cards here. So I'll let people do that. But, you know, for people who like to collect stuff, that'd be great, you know, for them. Or starting to collect, this is a fun way to, you know, get your collection going there. Remember when I said went down to, okay, it bounced. Of course. Congratulations. I hope you take advantage of that. For me, I'm just staying put. I'm okay. Let's see. Currently, I do have some calls though. Not many. I just have 2 for now at $30 a share for May 30th. Now, this is a pretty gamble. I gambled on that one a little bit. So, if it doesn't happen before May 30th, I think it's May 30th. I just know I bought it sometime in May. So 2 calls, yes, May 30th. 2 calls, I bought it at not much. Man. Okay, $200 each. Now it's down, so. Oh well. We'll see, but again, like, I don't hold my calls for long, you guys, so because, you know, it's not like shares or anything. You own it and then you don't care about the date and all that stuff, but this is just me gambling a little bit here. Just to keep my feet wet, okay? I have 200 for July. Oh, wow. All right. Well, good luck with that. I'm hoping, you know, by end of May. I'm kind of like looking at the global money supply type of thing and how high Bitcoin is going to be. And I'm thinking by May, it's going to explode higher to the all-time high. end of May should be, sufficient to tell, okay, the M2 money supply chart kind of tell you a lot about, this right here. So May would be right there, end of May. Now, if Jimmy were to follow the price of Bitcoin, right? Now, what I want him to do, though, is to announce the buys already. That would help, the price a lot. Because if Bitcoin does do what we expect it to do right here, based on this global money supply, then GME will do much better in terms of percentage from Bitcoin, right? But currently, Bitcoin takes over the percentage over GME. But yeah, how lucky can we get? How much time do we get to accumulate at a lower price? So I don't mind, another week, because I do get paid next week. So that's gonna give me a chance to add even more. But I've been kind of accumulating MSTR too, but more indirectly. I'm playing the MSDU for now, because it's easier to write the contracts and all that stuff. MSDU is pretty good because I feel like the premium is so much enticing, like over 100 something IV. It's pretty cool. So I've been kind of make some the wheel strategy on those. I do believe in MSTR, though, that they are going to, it's going to follow the price of Bitcoin, obviously. So, what I should have done is be a lot more careful on the sell call side for MSDU. But anyway, bought them when the price was okay, cool. He will announce the Bitcoin buys when China falls to the... Okay. That'd be cool. But why not now, though? Come on. I want it now. Because the SPY will reverse the entire... Okay, help more buyers for Gamestop. Of course. Hi Aiden, what's up? But yeah, again, like I feel like something is brewing. Calm before the storm type thing. Whether I wonder if the chart is going to give you a better view of what is happening here. So this is a weekly. Last week was nothing, like just a doji candle or whatever. Doji candle. But daily though, again, does this look familiar to anything at all here? The whole fractal thing, okay? But with this type of price movement, though, it's gonna drawn out so quick out of people. But I'm sure Roy Kitty is waiting right now. Hence that thumping situation. Perhaps the signal is like, hey, it's not ready yet, so we just gonna have to keep thumping and look for the swap to be ready. Of course, with this earnings, right, we need to beat the expectation on both. At some point, we're gonna beat it on both, guys. So I don't have any doubt that we're gonna be able to beat on both expectation. Because we've been, beating on price to earnings ratio almost every time. except this one right here. But even this one, we technically beat this one, but they were overestimating us. But yeah, you guys. All right, my voice is gone for some reason. So I guess I'm not quite ready.
Here are the top 3 companies holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
Okay.
In first place, of course, is Strategy by Michael Saylor. Second place comes Myra Holdings. And last one, Riot Platforms.
Okay.
All holding Bitcoin on their balance.
The average man, I believe. The average
Doing this stuff and scrolling forever. Okay, so the banks are preparing for something. Rates are collapsing. Nobody could control the rate of the bonds anymore. So, yeah, people are scared, And when they are scared, usually they're going to flee to some type of safety net. So, it just so happened to be Bitcoin at the moment. Who knows? Maybe this is the time in which Bitcoin's gonna decouple from what the stock market's gonna do. And so, yeah, I don't know. Okay, you guys, I feel like I have to go before my voice is giving out on me for tomorrow. Okay, not much here. You guys still have to wait. But yeah, $27. Come on, you guys. That's a steal. And how many times book is that, I wonder? Hold on. Let me see if they show the stat here. Still less than 3 times book. I feel like this is pretty fair value. A little bit less undervalued in my opinion. I would love this to be 5, 5 times book. That would be double from here. Double from here will make it around 60 or so. So I think that's pretty fair. 60 or under would be a good fair value. Again, that's not even include the hype, including the fan base, including the Bitcoin, nothing, just straight up book value there. And so, yeah, a lot of good things to look forward to. So I will let you guys go. You guys, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you'll be happier, tomorrow, or we will all be happier, because then we'll see Jimmy going green, greener than we ever expected to be. Of course, everybody is excited. I did chat GPT here. Whatever. Not much is happening here. I wonder what this is. Okay, let's see.
BPS stands for Bitcoin per share, as opposed to earnings per share. And the other is BRR, which stands for Bitcoin return rate. And my job and what I'm dedicated to do for our shareholders, in which we view similar to our customers, is grow our Bitcoin per share. So we're an operating company. And when you buy a share of 21, in a hypothetical sense, what we intend to do is, let's say our Bitcoin per share is 0.05. Our intent is to be able to grow that to 0.06 Bitcoin per share, 0.07 Bitcoin per share. Where a vehicle like an ETF, your exposure is static. So 21's an operating business, and we will be building Bitcoin products, Bitcoin operative cash flow, and then using the capital markets to accretively grow the Bitcoin on our balance sheet. So we want our shareholders to get wealthier, get richer in Bitcoin terms, and our metrics encourage the market to view us not in fiat terms, in Bitcoin terms, because we're not here to necessarily beat the market. We're here to build a new one and encourage the world to adopt Bitcoin in a sense that we believe it hasn't yet.
Wow. So apparently 21 has raised money to buy into Bitcoin, just like MicroStrategy. Not quite sure. I didn't even do any research on 21 here, what they're, building products for. And of course, he just stated there that he's going to build some sort of Bitcoin product there. But the whole idea is, again, Bitcoin adoption is coming. And so it's good that GME's actually going to get some piece of that as well. At least get to participate on the growth, you guys. Like, again, we don't need Bitcoin to survive, okay? We need Bitcoin to grow faster. That's it. Okay. All right, I'll let you go.